Hi everyone, and welcome to Your Christian Spotlight, a show dedicated to giving members of our community an opportunity to share their success stories and to discuss important issues. On today's show, we're talking all about love and relationships. That's coming up right now on Your Christian Spotlight. Love is a simple four-letter word, but it can come with many complications that can make a relationship seem difficult. On the other hand, love can also make you happier than you have ever imagined. There's no question that a relationship takes hard work, but how do you know if you're with the right person or if the relationship is headed in the right direction? Here tonight to give us their input on love and relationships is clinical counselor Ashley Kreze, Matt Goody, and Kyle Bell. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you.
I'm really excited to do this episode. There's a lot to talk about. Before we actually get into our conversation, I want everyone at home to get to know you guys a bit better. So, Ashley, start us off.
Sure. Well, thank you. My name is Ashley Kreze, and I'm a clinical counselor, specialized in individual counseling, anxiety counseling, relationship counseling, and I'm located in Bradford.
Excellent. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Matt.
I go to Seneca York.
Yes.
I'm a student, and I'm in a relationship.
Yes, you are.
A year and change.
Very good. And that's why you were here tonight.
Yes, going strong. Very happy.
And Kyle?
My name's Kyle, and I'm a third-year university student at York University, and I'm also in a relationship. Not as long as you, but still a relationship.
Perfect. Well, I think we should start off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, first question for you guys. What do you believe constitutes a healthy relationship and why? Ashley, you are the professional, so you can start us off if you like.
What constitutes a healthy relationship? I think at some sense it comes to individual needs, but having good communication skills, common goals is important as well. Understanding your own values as well as your partner's values.
Okay.
Some of those qualities.
Very good. Matt, what do you think?
She hit it on the head right there.
She did.
A professional opinion, I guess that's it. I don't have to say much here, do I?
Yes, you do. Come on.
I agree entirely with what she said. Like, it's on the head. It's just communication. Make sure you guys are on the same page. If you're not, talk it out. Bring it back communication.
Yeah.
So you've lasted this long?
It's bad. That's really honestly the only answer I
hope
give
she's
you.
watching tonight.
I know, right? Just talk it out.
Kyle, what do you think?
What I think, all that stuff, I agree with. I also think acceptance of the other person.
That's a good one.
Knowing that not everybody is a perfect person, knowing that everybody comes from different backgrounds, different experiences, and that some people will have baggage of some sorts, and that if you really do care about that person and you want to make the relationship work, that you will accept them and you'll work with them, and you won't be judgmental of them.
My dad tells me that all the time. He goes, I feel bad for the man you end up with because he has to accept a lot from you. And I was like, yeah, it's true. But I would think I'm worth it, hopefully. People often say the expression love isn't enough or isn't just enough. What does that mean exactly? And what do you guys have? What's your take on it? Any of you guys can jump in.
Wow. That's,
Kyle's making that expression like, oh.
I got something in the pot.
Oh, it's just kind of funny because that was actually said to me once in in a prior relationship, and it was before the relationship I'm in. It's not obviously not going on anymore, but that was told to me one time. The relationship wasn't working, and it does make sense though because I did love the girl, I did care about the girl a lot, but we weren't compatible. Lifestyles were not working. Our goals weren't the same, different interests, like different hobbies, different life interests. But I loved her, so I thought it was supposed to work. I thought it was supposed to work out, and then...
Right, but is there a difference between being in love with someone and loving someone?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I love the reactions that I'm getting to my questions. I guess I'm doing a good job so far.
I don't know. I feel like with that situation, it would have to be something that like you have to experience in order to understand. Like, because you're sitting there telling me that love is not enough is a possibility. But I was sitting before he said that. I was like, there's no way. Like if you're in love with somebody and you're in love with somebody, like there's got to be something you love them for, right? There's got to be a reason, right? So I mean, if you're not compatible, I mean, what's you know what I mean? That's my question. It's like, why? How is love not
I know
enough?
Ashley's like on the verge of like saying, I want to see
like, oh, this is
something.
juicy. Let me jump in.
Go ahead.
No, I think it just comes back to what we had talked about initially, actually, with common goals and interests and compatibilities. You can love somebody, but do we spend enough time looking at ourselves and then as well at our partner?
Okay.
Right?
Very
So-
good. Now, what do you believe is the best way to meet someone? Do you start off as friends first? Is that a good way to go? Or is that something you should possibly avoid because that can get kind of messy as well? What do you think?
Oh, the best way to meet somebody. I mean, there's so
Or
many
there any
different
places-
avenues. There's so many
Say,
different
there's-
avenues
I don't know if
now,
there's
Are
right?
there
With
any
the
places
internet.
that you would not want to meet someone?
Well, I think Meetup has actually been an interesting place that I've recommended to a lot of clients
Okay.
who are single. Who
Is it a website?
Yeah, meetup.com.
Okay, all right.
Yes, and you can go to events. There's single events, but it's a way to get to know people strategically,
Okay.
thinking about what your interests are, and then how you can meet somebody with those same interests
Okay.
as a way.
Very cool. How about you guys? What's the best way to meet someone?
I was thinking there's no really right answer to that. I mean,
Okay.
it's like anybody you meet. I mean, not just relationships. Well, I guess friends are relationships too, right?
But romantic relationships.
Okay, but I mean, with any relationship, the people come into your life in the most random places, you know, right? So I would assume it's the same thing when it comes to romance, right?
Okay.
Putting
good
yourself
point.
out there.
Right. Just when you meet somebody and you're like, oh, sparks, you know, gotta chase it. Gotta chase it.
Based on my experience, I think that the best way to meet somebody and to have a working relationship with, like a relationship that works, is to be friends first. I've dated people who I wasn't friends with them. I was interested in them, kind of like in a lustful way. This person's really attractive. Because they're attractive, I want to just talk to them enough and maybe be able to date them and get to know them through the dating. But those relationships never really worked out because I didn't have like a deep enough connection with them that I knew them on like a really deep level. I didn't really know all their goals. I didn't really know all their intricacies, all their habits, all their lifestyle choices. I didn't know all that just because I was focused on, they look really pretty. I want to get to know them because they're pretty.
Okay. All right.
So-
Fair enough. But then again, there's the other side of things when if you start a relationship with a friend, you're risking the chance of losing that friendship. So how do you gauge whether or not it's worth it? I know, I'm throwing all these twists at you guys.
If the
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. That was so mean of me. I'm so sorry. We have to go to break really quick, but we'll go back to it when we come back.
Okay,
Fair enough?
sounds good.
Okay, sorry, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to York Region Spotlight. Today's show, it's all about love and relationships. We're here with Ashley, Matt, and Kyle. Now, I apologize, I left on a cliffhanger before we went to the commercial break. But we were discussing the idea of moving past a friendship zone and going into the relationship, whether or not it's worth it. So what do you guys think? I'm so sorry I cut you guys off, so you have a chance now to answer.
Oh, man. Okay, for me, personally, anything that is really kind of like, if you really want to explore it, or if it's worth doing, you know, you just got to shoot for it, honestly.
go for it.
Right?
Ask
The
those
worst,
difficult questions.
yeah, the worst that could happen was meant to happen. The best that could happen was meant to happen. And anyway, it's all meant to be, right? That's just what I believe. That's just-
Destiny.
yeah.
Ooh,
Just-
destiny. No.
Okay, this is a really heavy question that I'm going to throw at you guys, and I'm really curious to know what you guys think, 'cause I feel like each of you are going to give a different answer. So, at what point in a relationship is it okay to say, I love you? Do you think that people throw this around too loosely?
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I think it's not a lot of people know what it means to be in love with somebody. They think they're in love with somebody,
Yeah, until you
but they
are.
just don't quite understand it.
Exactly.
So, I think the right time to say it is, you know, like, you have to think about it. You have to sit on it, because if you throw it out there too loosely, then you can convince yourself that you are in love with someone when you're really not.
Okay.
So it's just kind of like, when you verbally say something, it's kind of like you're affirming it with yourself as well as the other person. So if you thought about it, you sat on it, and you kind of like, I do love this person, and then sometimes you need to throw it out there first, and then sometimes it's reciprocated, sometimes it's not.
That's terrifying too.
Yeah.
Imagine,
Yeah.
I've never
The first time.
even thought about that, about someone not saying it back to you, but I guess that is a possible.
You never really plan for it, and then
You know-
I mean, it happens, and you're like, oh.
You just
my
gotta go
God.
for it, right?
Well, maybe later I'll try again.
Exactly. Ashley, what do you think?
How do you know what love is?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
good
another
question.
And the
Right? Oh my
feelings
gosh.
of it.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Where I found that apparently in 2012, "What is love" was the most Google searched phrase
I
out
believe
there.
it.
Wow.
People want to know, right? This thing called love, this emotion. How do you know when you feel it? Is it lust? Is it infatuation? And working through that. So
So does everyone? Do you think everyone has a different take on what love is?
Yes.
there's an author, Gary Chapman, who's written a book called The 5 Love Languages.
Okay.
Through that, he says that we communicate love differently. So the way I express love might be different than the way you express love,
Right.
which might be different than the way you do it too. So.
Right.
All right. Good. All very good points, I have to say. This one, I'm really curious to know. There's something called the exclusive discussion. That basically means when you're starting to talk to someone in a new relationship, but you're not sure whether or not it's just you and that person, whether they're seeing other people, you have the talk about being exclusive. How do you approach that conversation? I know many people struggle with this. What is a good way to open up about this topic?
Be straight up.
Be straight up, okay?
Seriously?
What this guy says. What this guy said.
Honestly, that's the best way. Just
All
be
right.
like, okay, look, hey, I'm all yours, and are you all mine, or are we just doing like a kind of like?
But is that a guy's take? Is that how a guy would do it? Because I
Yeah,
can't
that's how I
see
would
a
do it.
girl being like, so you're with me and I'm with you? Okay, great.
I,
Like, you know what I mean?
No. I disagree. That comes to who you are. I mean, that's your personality.
Okay,
Personality
all
trait,
right.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you really like a guy, right, and you don't know if you guys are exclusive, as you're using,
Exclusive.
right, and
The
you want
word.
to know,
Ask.
ask
You
straight
just need
up.
to ask.
You have to
Like
ask.
anything in life, ask straight up.
Because
Right?
the other person could be waiting for you to ask. The other person could be waiting, like, does that person want to be exclusive with me? And like, I just want them to show me that they want to be with me, so that way I can, give them more of myself. So
But is there a certain time frame you should wait?
Whenever
To
you
ask this
feel like
question?
it's a good time.
exactly, you have to. If you feel that you want to be exclusive with that person, then like, sometimes you just gotta ask. What's the worst that could happen? The person says no, like I don't want to be exclusive just yet, and then you'll know. The worst is not knowing, like sitting in a relationship, wondering, what is this?
Yeah.
So basically it boils down to what Ashley was saying before, which is communication. It's just having that open, free flow ability to just talk to that person. And I
Bingo,
think that's,
bango, boom.
Talk and listen.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, communication's a
Yes,
two-way street,
it's
honey.
so very, very important. Now this is interesting because a lot of people deal with this type of situation. How do you handle when one of your friends has a boyfriend or a girlfriend that you just don't like, or if it's your boyfriend or girlfriend that your friends don't like? What do? Do you express your opinions? Do you kind of just keep it to yourself?
I gotta think really carefully about what I say, just in case I have some friends watching.
That would depend on how that relationship is going, I think.
Yeah.
If it was my friend who was dating someone who I didn't like, if that relationship was somehow detrimental to my friend, they were going down like a wrong path in their life because of this person or something, I would, as best as I could, vocalize like, hey, like, I don't like the way that your life is going right now because ever since you started seeing this person. But if that person is legitimately happy with their significant other and everything seems to be going good for them, I would just have to be a good friend and support them. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really tricky issue because, like, I've been in a situation where my friend was seeing this girl, and it was like, the best way to describe it is that they were poisonous for each other. That was the best way to describe it. It was like they brought out the worst in each other 24/7. And not only did it come out with them to each other, it came out with them to their friends. Like her to her friends and him to us, like my friends, right? And it was brutal. It was just a brutal summer. It was just really, it was high emotions.
And did you voice your opinion?
I had to. I just sat him down. I was like, look, honestly, I mean, I said it, like, you guys are poison for each other, right?
Wow.
You really need to evaluate this on your own,
Well,
without her, without me,
This
without anybody.
is sort of what you do. If someone comes to you and says, this is the relationship I'm in, help me. You might not necessarily be one of their personal friends, but you're still there to offer their advice. So what do you do?
Well, I think a lot of times it comes down to, we're talking about here a friend who doesn't like a partner, right? So, the friend to really look at why they don't like that significant other. Is it something about themselves that's making them not appreciate what's in, the quality of that other person?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start. Why is it bugging you? Is it something that, they're not in a healthy relationship? If that's the case and that's why you don't like them, then, yeah, speak up and express yourself. But if it's just that, the personalities clash, right, is that a reason
Yeah,
That's basically,
to voice it?
what it goes to. Like, not everybody's going to like everybody. You could be like the nicest person in the world, like with a great personality, but somebody may just not like you just because. So if that happens to be the case, your friend's dating someone that you just don't like, but that significant other is not, negatively affecting your friend, then I think you need to be a good friend and just support your friend. You don't have to like the other person, but you need to support your friend and that they're happy with their relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it easier to tell a sibling, let's say? Or is it...
Not
No.
necessarily. Not
Matt right away went, no,
necessarily.
definitely not. Why?
Sometimes it's easier to talk to your friends about some things, and it's easier to talk to your siblings about some things. But
That's
when it
very
comes
true.
to love, again, I guess it just depends on the person that they are and who you are, right?
Very good. Well, we have a lot more to talk about, so we'll sit tight. We're going to go to commercial break really quick. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to your Christian Spotlight. Today's show, we're talking all about love and relationships. We're here with Ashley, Matt, and Kyle. And so far, the discussion has been, I would say, heated. Definitely a little bit of debate here and there, but it's certainly been interesting. I kind of want to take a spin on the conversation now, and we're going to turn it towards the holidays. It's the time of the year. And there's a lot of questions that come up about love, especially around this time of the year. So my first one for you guys is, if you're in a relationship, should you be exchanging gifts? If so, what type of gift should it be? Is there a limit? And then the opposite of that is if you're in a long-term relationship, kind of like Matt over here, do the gifts change? Do the limit of the limit of what you spend
I think I'm in the hot seat
changes?
right now.
Are you?
Matt,
Okay.
go ahead.
You go first. You go first.
So say this was a year ago and we'd only been dating for a couple months. I mean, you get whatever your pocket can afford. Now that
Nah.
we've been together for some time, she's expecting some grand fireworks.
Or the opposite, though.
No.
I was actually going to say that, though. I was going to say the opposite. You've been together for a while now, so do you really need to be that impressive?
Maybe at like 2-3 years and then onward, but now this is
Still,
1 year.
the fireworks are still there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
She's
good
like, I'm
then.
expecting something big. Okay, sweetheart. Well,
Ashley, what do you think?
Let's see what the pocket says.
Oh, I think it's individual,
Okay.
right? But communicating that, all right, what's our budget for this year? Do we want to exchange gifts? Do we want to volunteer? Do we want to donate something?
Okay.
But being upfront, right? Because when you're upfront and you ask, then you both know.
Yeah.
You're both on the same page. So
All right. That's a good way to put it.
Going off of what you said, there is no textbook answer to anything that comes to relationships. People can say, like, you need to do this at this point in time in the relationship. You need to do this for this person to make them like you, for example. But, everybody's an individual. Everyone's emotions don't run on textbook answers. So you have to, if you really like someone, you want to buy them a really extravagant gift because you feel that way about them, then do it.
But then again, there's that classic expression of it's the thought that counts. So does it really need to have a big dollar sign attached to it, or does it have to be something more meaningful? What would you prefer? I prefer
could
something more
mean-
meaningful.
You could
yes.
intertwine the two of them.
Oh, you're the best, Matt.
You could get something
You
nice,
are.
or maybe even like it's nice, but it's not expensive, and
Okay.
then go somewhere nice and be like, look, you know what I mean?
He's good,
If
eh?
you do, I know, I'm a regular Romeo.
But-
So.
Well, man, that's why you're in a relationship for a year and
There
a
you
bit,
go. That's
but-
why it's lasted.
But like a lot of people like to equate, the size of their gift with how much the person likes them. So like,
Oh,
for
I
example,
see.
like some people like this person, my significant other didn't buy me a $1 million gift, so they don't love me enough.
Okay.
It's like that shouldn't, the money should not equate the feeling.
Honey, I bought you an F-150 because I
materialism,
love you
right?
this
Yeah.
much.
Materialism.
living more of a minimalistic.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Hey, sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's a thought that counts, but like you said, everyone has their own opinions. Now, a lot of people believe that it's a good time to meet the family over the holidays. So you bring your significant other and you meet everyone. What do you think? Do you think it's a good time to bring someone over for Christmas, or should that just be a family time?
That's a good question. I think it comes down, all of this is common theme here is asking and communicating
Right.
and finding out, okay, are
We
we
haven't
at
got the
that
hint yet. It's
point?
all about communication.
Are we at that point where we meet the parents, meet the in-laws,
Okay.
or do we wait? So
Do you think some people jump the gun on it and think, okay, no, yeah, we're in a relationship now, so come on over?
I think it comes down to different values and different cultures, different needs. I don't know if there's actually one right answer to that question.
Right.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
think it's about like, are you prepared to meet the family? The best way to know if you're ready to meet their family, especially at this stressful time we call the holidays, is would you want her to meet your family? Or would you be okay, say you didn't know your family and you were coming in, knowing how your family is, would you want to come in and meet them at this time of year? Then
Oh,
that's how you
okay.
make your decision for that time of
So
the
you
year.
put yourself in their shoes then.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
I just kind of like, if you're ready, you two are in a serious relationship, whether it's like 3 months or 3 years, and you guys are like, we're really into each other, we really like each other, and we want to meet each other's family, why not? Even if it's like a month, even if somehow you guys clicked right away after a month, why not?
It's possible.
Now, this is kind of a biased question for me because I go to both of you often for a piece of advice in regards to this topic, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you believe you get better advice for relationships in love from someone of the same gender as you or the opposite gender? And if so, why?
Opposite.
Opposite.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry,
Let's
I'm
take
just jumping
a
right
vote
in.
right now. You say opposite. You say, Matt, what do you think?
Opposite.
Ashley?
Oh, I don't think it matters. I think it comes down
Okay.
to understanding, listening, giving 2 cents if you want 2 cents. So just that person that you can connect with and feel comfortable asking those questions. Hey, you know what? I'm having this struggle. What do I do? What would you do? So maybe somebody that you look up to.
Well, I would definitely, like I said, I would usually go to the guys, but for someone like you, I know you're a professional with this, so I would immediately draw to you because I know you would have a different take on it as well. So it's true. It depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
We have a minute and a half, you guys. Go for it.
You
Oh,
talk.
sorry, correct me. 1 minute.
Okay. You go to the other. You go to the other gender because they understand. So like you have an issue with your guy. You go to a guy to talk about the guy because they understand how each other think. Girls and guys are 2 different creatures, whether we want to believe it or not.
Yes.
I don't always understand how a girl thinks. So if I want to be like she's acting a certain way around me, I will go to one of my close girlfriends and be like, hey, like, why is she talking to me like this? Why is she acting like this? Because I don't act the same way she does, so I can't,
We're
relate.
giggling because we know it's true.
Oh yeah.
Matt?
My buddies, they don't know anything.
Right?
They know everything about anything except love.
Exactly.
And relationships.
Exactly.
That's the one thing they don't know anything about. Yeah. That's
Now,
my 2 cents.
I honestly, I really do agree with that, but like I was saying before, I think it just depends on who you're talking to specifically. We have only a couple seconds left, but really quick, what's your last piece of advice in regards to this topic for love and relationships? It can be something really quick.
Communication. Never go to bed angry.
Yep.
Never.
Talk it out. Just talk everything
Yes,
out.
yeah.
Even
Don't-
if it's about the weather, talk it out. You know?
Don't change yourself. Don't change yourself to try and suit the other person or please the other person. Because if you can't be true to yourself, then you can't be true to them.
That's a good one.
Really quick, go ahead.
Ask those tough questions and get rid of judgment.
You guys are great. You guys are honestly phenomenal. This is the reason why I talk to you all personally. I want to thank all my guests for sharing their opinions on love and relationships. We'll see you next time on Your Christian Spotlight.